Do you know what's even easier than starting? Judging. Yes. Sitting in the audience and judging other people, having your opinions, watching on and thinking, maybe I could do better than that, or if I was doing it, I would do it this way. Judging is so easy, but starting, that's for the brave. Or is it? Brené Brown, the legend that is, says, you're either in the arena, getting judged, getting messy, learning, or you're sat in the stands as a bystander. So are you going to be a backseat critic, or are you going to get in the game? Ooh, deep. Gotta love Brené Brown. And yeah, it's scary. You're going to sweat. You're going to fail. People are going to watch you and judge you. But you know what? Where it's messy, it's fun. It's creative. It's where you grow. Right there in the arena is where you're going to find out exactly who you are and what you can do. And you know what? You're probably going to be surprised. So first up, let's get through the myth of readiness. Oh, we love to be ready. We love to make lists. We love to make plans. We love to make excuses of why we're not ready to step into the arena. And I want to reflect this week on a previous episode with Christina, who was a Muay Thai boxer. So Christina, when she was younger, wanted to be a fighter. But there were several things going against her, such as division of weight classes and her own self-doubts. She didn't see anyone else in the arena of Muay Thai boxing that looked like her. And it took her years, like years. She was 29 when ultimately she was sick of sitting in the stands, and she quite literally wanted to fight. And at 29, she took a flight out to Thailand and she immersed herself in the amazing industry sport of Muay Thai boxing with the professionals. And to this day, she is fighting. She's an incredible fighter. She's currently out in Thailand now, and she's actually competing in a weight division that has been released only quite recently that allows her to fight. Imagine if she hadn't have stepped up and started fighting, and then this division came in and she did use that as an excuse not to fight. She wouldn't be ready for the fight now that is available to her. Mind-blowing. But her story really is empowering because she wasn't ready to start. Like I say, she didn't see anyone like herself. She had a lot of self-doubt. There was no division for her to fight in, but she started anyway. So what was Christina's true arena moment? It's when she turned up to train. She had no idea that she would be able to fight. And on one particular day, she was fueled by beers in a McDonald's, and they managed to arrange a fight for her, but she was not prepared. She didn't have a cornerman, which you're supposed to have. And ultimately, she could have made an excuse to not get in the actual arena and fight. But someone had arranged for another woman to come from far afield to come and fight with her. And she used that as a reason to not let these excuses get in her way. And she had her first fight, which was amazing. And I think it shows, doesn't it? Sometimes when things don't seem like they're supposed to happen, can actually be the perfect time to make the jump. Black and white on paper, she probably shouldn't have fought that day, but she knew that it would be a learning experience and it probably wouldn't go well, but it would be the first step to getting exactly where she wanted to be, which was a professional fighter. You can only become a professional fighter if you get in the ring and start fighting. Training is great, but it's ultimately about showing up and being in the fight. Christina said something during the podcast that has sat with me ever since. For in the world of boxing, she talks about if you can just put a pair of gloves on, then you can do anything. You're ready. It's as simple as that. The barrier to entry is pretty low, and I think with most things, the barrier to entry is pretty low, but we start adding things on, which you perceive as barriers, but they're not actually. It's not actually a thing. It's just your way of putting something in between you and actually stepping up and stepping in. So your start isn't meant to be perfect. It's not meant to be pretty. Christina lost that fight on points, but ultimately I think she won because it set her on this journey of knowing that she could be a fighter. She gained way more proof that she could show up. She gained way more proof that she didn't need to be ready for every situation. And her story ultimately is also inspiring other women in the most perfect way. She's now had an amazing career and ultimately is going into professional fights. None of that would have happened if she hadn't have stepped into the arena on that fight day. So I want to know what your messy start is going to be, but ultimately you've got to figure out what's your arena. And so many people worry about stepping in because they think it might not be for them. Well, you're only going to know if you try, and it might not be the right arena for you. You might have to step out and go into some other place, some other arena. But just try it. I feel like I've used the metaphor arena a lot here, but hell, it fits so well with Christina's story. So stop sitting in the stands, get yourself down there amongst the chaos and the beauty that is the fight. Let me know what it is that you want to do, what you're planning to do. I'm excited. And as per usual, you can listen to many of the back episodes of the She Who Dares Wins podcast and get inspiration from all my amazing guests. I don't think any one of my guests' first step into something has been easy. And that's what makes their stories so incredible. And just think about that. You could have an incredible story too, but it's most likely going to begin with some failures. So let's wrap this video up with some simple truths. Starting is terrifying. It's messy. But it's important to show up. You're going to mess up, you're going to learn, it's going to be freeing, you're going to feel the burn, but ultimately, you've made a start. You'll grow, you'll expand, and you'll stop being the person that wonders what it's like doing the thing. You'll be that person living that truth. So this is your call out. It's not a nudge, but a shove if you need it, to step in the arena and start before you are ready. And if anyone questions them, just tell them, I'm not here to impress, I'm here to progress. Ooh, mic drop. Now get in that bloody ring. All right, folks, please go and listen to Christina's episode. She has a fascinating story. Go and follow her on social media. She shows up in every way, shape or form, and go and wish her all the best because she's currently in Thailand fighting her way for the dream of becoming a champion boxer. Don't forget, if you want to head over to the She Who Dares Wins shop and grab yourself a t-shirt or hoodie, www.shewhodareswins.com, use the code POD10 to get yourself 10% off. And all the bonus episodes where I ask quick-fire questions with all of my guests are now available on Substack or Patreon. And you can check the description for links of those. Don't forget, we're back every single Monday with a new episode and every Thursday with a reflection bonus episode. All right, have a good one.